Hello, my name is Jayla, and for question one, I don't really have like a big culture as far as like ethnicity wise. So, something that I think is very important to me in a different culture would be my religion. And I think that when people come at me for my religion or question it, or not so much question, but when they're rude about it and try to like prove it wrong, it makes me like want to defend it because it's a big part of who I am and I've grown up with it, and it just very much feels like part of my identity. And um for question 2, one belief that connects to this is, I guess, just the fact that I believe that it's real and I know other people don't, and that's completely okay. I know that everyone doesn't agree, and I don't have any problem with that because everyone grows up differently. And I think that it's just very hard for me to want to change this belief because it is a huge part of who I am, and I don't know if I would be able to, because I can't think of what evidence honestly someone would be able to present me to make me switch my mind about this. And for question 3, think of an important belief you genuinely hold that you'd be able to reconsider. I feel like for this, maybe something like my politics, because I do hold a very strong belief in my politics. I feel like it might be a little easier though to change than something like religion, because I didn't like grow up a certain way. I more so found myself leaning towards one side as I matured and started looking into it myself, because my family was never really big into politics, and I myself went and found the direction that I feel like I fit in most, which for me would be the Democratic side. And I am very strongly on this side, but if someone from the other side, I know there's a lot of different categories, but there is one more prominent category. And if someone from, say, any of these other sides tried to convince me and they came with like real evidence, I feel like maybe it would be easier to slightly reconsider. And for question 4, why are you willing to reconsider the belief from question 2? Um, I just feel like this belief about politics comes a little bit more from like outwards, like the people around us, the government, and things that are like evolving and changing as of now. And also, it's more of a recent belief that I have found myself coming to. But my other belief from question 2, I think, about my religion is not something that I feel like is connected to the environment around me. It's more for something like within and more spiritual, I'd say. And for question 5, what would actually change your mind about the belief about my religion? I don't know if I could say there would be something. It would have to be really crazy proof, because I mean, I'm not so set that like no matter what, no matter anything could happen, like I'll never change. I just think that it would be really difficult, and I can't think of an evidence that would be able to cause that switch up. And what would actually need to change your mind about belief number 2 about politics? I think it would have to be just really strong evidence as well. As far as what kind of evidence though, I think I would just have to look into it more like factual evidence, and not so much I don't know, I feel like opinions are a really big thing in politics, so I would need to see more facts. I think I could hear out other people's opinions, but I just know that it would be easier to change than the first one, but still very hard. And for number 7, I think I'm on. Where then is your line between beliefs you will defend and beliefs you're willing to reconsider? I think the line is that one belief about religion is more within, and then the other belief comes from more around, like what I see. And what happens when an argument gets too close to that line? I feel like it's really easy to get close to the line when it comes to disrespect, and I feel like if it does come to that, then it's better to just stop the conversation and find someone better to have it with who will be able to thoroughly explain their side, because I feel like you won't be able to influence someone's opinion if you just start attacking them. But I think if someone from the other side was really respectful, and as far as the other side, I mean just like with a different opinion, if they were respectful and were actually able to explain their position and give me specific points that I feel like I could connect with, then I feel like it would be easier for me to understand them. And maybe if it's not even like fully switching to a different political stance, maybe I could just like slide over on the scale a little bit. I'm not too sure. But number 8, who are you willing to believe? What makes someone credible? And would you judge that person differently if they came from the outside? I wouldn't judge them if they came from a different group than from what I'm in, or if they challenge my opinion, because I feel like if you want to have these conversations to understand your side more, you have to talk to others from a different side. And you shouldn't like automatically judge them in a mean way. It's okay to not agree with them. It's okay to think differently. And I feel like I honestly find someone more credible if they're able to have the conversation with me and hear me out. Like, I think that makes them seem a lot more open-minded and not just completely like, I'm right and you're wrong. And did I answer everything from that? Okay. How can you tell the difference between this argument is wrong and I really don't want this to be right? I feel like I could tell the difference between when something is wrong and when I want something to be wrong is, I think, if I start ignoring the facts and like actual like statistics or something just because I want to go with my opinion and what I feel, then I feel like that is the kind of line where it's like maybe it's right, but I just don't want to believe it. And for the last question, question 10. After thinking through these questions, where you feel you're most vulnerable to tribal thinking, what subjects might you dismiss, avoid, or stop listening to because they feel like a threat to your identity? I think if someone questions something that I have like grown up with for forever, or stuff that I have like very strongly already formed my opinions on from a long time ago, that I feel deep within like myself are real, I think that if they come at those opinions and try to influence me, it'll be a lot harder. And I feel like I may be quicker to kind of like avoid it because I've had those conversations a lot. And since I don't think I'm really willing to switch my belief, I will try and like just stay away from people who try, not stay away from them, stay away from the conversations of them trying to switch me over, because it does honestly feel like a little bit of a threat to my identity, because it's such a big part of my identity that when it's like they're saying that that part of me is completely wrong, it's like, so who am I? But yeah, I do think that there is a difference compared to like if they come at other beliefs, like my political beliefs. It is a big part of who I am and I do feel really strongly about them, but I just think compared to like religion, it maybe is more influence on things in the world that like can be proven right or wrong. Compared to religion, it's really hard to prove right and wrong, and it just involves a lot of trust. But yep, that is my answers.